One of the things that is constantly said, when press conferences of this kind happen, and it isn't just restricted to Rahul Gandhi, but several other netas as well, is, why now? Why are these decisions being taken only now? I mean, even an eternal optimist, would sit down and say, it's because it's election season, it's an emotionally charged atmosphere, and therefore politicians like Rahul Gandhi are getting desperate and trying to put out emotionally charged statements in an effort to make up for lost time, so far.
Without an element of doubt, the timing lends itself to this kind of assumption.
Yes.
But even let's give them this, even if they are doing for electoral purposes, so long if it is in the larger good, these are laws, these are legislation that should have been there from the very beginning. Even if at this late stage, if they've realized it, if they are willing to put their money where their mouth is,
yes,
if they are willing to enact this, it will be a good deed for the nation.
I just want to repeat for our viewers some of the decisions that have just been announced by Rahul Gandhi after that meeting with the Congress-ruled state chief ministers. All Congress-ruled states will enact the Lokayukta by the 28th of February 2014. All Congress-ruled states by the 15th of January will delist fruits and vegetables from the APMC so that consumers will get benefit from lower prices and farmers will also benefit from this. Congress-ruled states will enact the Essential Commodities Act 1980 to deal with hoarding. That's become a big problem at this time. Congress-ruled states immediately will implement reforms of the public distribution system stipulated in the Food Security Act of 2013. They're going to do that as soon as possible. Also, and finally, the last and the fifth point is Congress-ruled states will immediately take steps to open fair price shops to sell essential commodities, including fruits, vegetables, eggs, and other essential items, or also women's self-help groups. It was only after these 5 points were put out, Javed, that the questions started coming. It seemed pretty obvious that the questions were only going to be related to corruption because that seems to be the flavor of the day right now.
Well, absolutely. This has been the bugbear. This government has been buffeted by one scandal after the other. And unless it makes a clean break, unless it is seen as acting against the corrupt, this government doesn't have too much, this party doesn't have too much of hope. And that's why perhaps Rahul Gandhi realizes this. Perhaps Rahul Gandhi, he was till a couple of days ago, he was criticized for not being proactive, for not engaging with people, for not being involved. Now he's begun to do that. But since he's set the standards, he will now be measured against it.
Yes.
It's not enough to pay lip service. It's not enough to pay lip service. These things have to be put into practice, and this is what he will be held against. He has to ensure that this is put into practice, or else there'll be a